Hi everyone. Do you remember the story The Mountain and the Squirrel? We have already learned it, the poem, The Mountain and the Squirrel. What was their conversation about? What are they talking about? Yes, they are talking about their own ability. But they are not just talking, they are arguing or they are quarreling each other. The biggest thing, the mountain tells that I am the great. But the squirrel, that even though it is very small, it also tells that I have some talents. And they are telling about their own talents. Right? Then at last, how did they find out a solution? Or how did they compromise it? Can anybody tell? Yes. The squirrel tells that each and every creature in this earth has their own talents or their own ability. But all the abilities are different depending on each creature. Right? No, but without one's life, others can't live in this world or others cannot survive in this world, in this earth. That means each and every creature are depending each other, or they are related to each other, or they are depending each other. Then all these creatures together make the whole earth. Each and every creature has their own importance in this world. All are equally important. Right? Now listen, the man always has a company of the animals, birds, insects, plants, etc. Reptiles and everything, small creature also. Now the man has the company of all these creatures. Alright? The human being or man always communicating with this creature. Now he find out the pleasure through this. I think many of you have some pets in your home. It may be a puppy or cat, parrot, lovebirds, squirrel, a hen, the goat, and I mean cattle, cow, goat, etc. Right? Now you love that pets and that pets love you too. Right? Now whenever you take care of them, or look after them, we get some pleasure. Or when we are in very stress, we get some relaxation while we are taking care of them, or while we are looking after them. Am I correct? Yes. Now because the interaction between these interaction with these animals or birds or creature, that give us some pleasure or happiness. Right? Now listen, now here is a story in our book that shows the relationship between the man and the creature. Now let's go to that story. Now you know who is the author of that story? Yes, Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. You know who is that? Who is Vaikam Muhammad Bashir? I think he's very familiar to you. We celebrate Bashir Day on July 5th, on his death day, right? In the previous year, you performed a lot of programs related to Bashir stories, novels. You know which are the famous stories or the novels of Bashir? Indu Papa Quran and Darnu, Pathumayde Aadu, Madilugal, പ്രേമലേഖനം, വിശ്വവിഖ്യാതമായ മൂക്ക്, ഭൂമിയുടെ അവകാശികൾ, etc. I think most of the stories, those are very familiar to you. Did you read that story? In our library, there are a lot of stories are there. You should take each and every story one by one and try to read it. Right? Now, can you tell the biography of Vaikam Muhammad Bashir? Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. Abdul Rahman Muhammad Bashir is popularly known as Vaipu Sultan is regarded as one of the masters among the modern Malayalam writers. He was born on 19th January 1908 at Thalolaparambu in Kerala, in India. He was one of the most famous authors of his time. He has written novels, short stories, essays, and memoir. He was a freedom fighter too. ബാല്യകാല സഖി, പാത്തുമ്മയുടെ ആട്, ഉപ്പാപ്പാക്കൊരാനുണ്ടാർന്നു, വിശ്വവിഖ്യാതമായ മൂക്ക്, മതിലുകൾ, പ്രേമലേഖനം are a few of his notable works. He was awarded Padma Shri in 1982, Sahitya Academy Award in 1970, Kendriya Sahitya Academy Award, the Kerala State Film Award for Best Story in 1989 for Madilagal. He passed away on July 5th, 1994 at the age of 86. Though Malayalam has lost one of the greatest writers, he is still alive in our memory. In our textbook, now there is another story of Bashir that shows the relationship between the man and the creature around him. Right? Now that's an autobiography of Bashir. Now his own story, what do you mean by autobiography? His own story. His own story is written by himself. Now this story is written by Bashir itself. Now the main character of this story are Bashir and Bashir's wife. Right? You know what is its name? The Rightful Inheritors of the Earth. Which is the Malayalam version, you know? Bhumiyude Avakashikar. Right? Now all of you take your textbook. I'll read. While I am reading, all of you look at the book very carefully and read along with me. And after my reading, all of you pause my video and read yourself once again. Right? Take page number 80 in your textbook. I'll read this first. And while I am reading, all of you should look at the book very carefully and read along with me. Okay? The Rightful Inheritors of the Earth. When I became the owner of a tiny little piece of this wide earth, I felt very happy. It was a 2-acre plot with coconut palms and an old house where we could live. Those were the days when the price of the coconuts was going up, and I was in high spirit at the thought of the palms laden with coconuts. But then came the trespassers. They did not care about the fence we had put up at the boundary. Moreover, they did not seem to be at all afraid of my watchdog Shan. They did not seem to care for anyone in this world, not even the government. The first arrivals were birds and butterflies, a wide variety of birds and so many butterflies. Perched on the bough, the birds chipped on and on. The butterflies fluttered round in the courtyard, flashing their colors in the sunlight. Then came the crows. Their raucous cawing was unbearable than the racket of other birds. But the worst was that they missed no chance to swoop down on our hens and chicks. Next to arrive were the hawk's birds that perched on our coconut palm. However, while they sat in higher planes, their aims were just as low down in the dust. The hawks and the crows had the same agenda while they watched and waited. Okay, here are some new words. Let's find out the meaning from the glossary. While I am telling this, you should underline those words. Okay? Look at the first line. When I became the owner of a tiny little piece. Tiny means that is very familiar. Tiny, very small. Then the next sentence, I felt very happy. It was 2-acre plot. What do you mean by acre? You know what is acre, cent. Now, this is the unit of മെഷറിംഗ് ദ ലാൻഡ്. നമ്മൾ ഭൂമി അളക്കാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന യൂണിറ്റ്സുകളാണ് സെൻറ്റ്, ഏക്കർ എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, നൗ ലെറ്റ്സ് അണ്ടർലൈൻ സം വേർഡ്സ്. ടേക്ക് യുവർ പെൻ and underline. The first one, that is trespassers. Second one, fence. Third, that is perched. Next one, buff. Tubed. Another one, fluttered. Then next one, raucous. Another one, cawing. Racket. Another one is racket. And one more, swoop down. Another one, hawks. That's all in this page. Now let's go to another page. Take the next page. Page number 81. The next part is there in that page. I'll read. All of you look at the page very carefully and read along with me. Nor were they alone. There were mongooses in the bamboo thicket, and there were foxes in the shrubs close by, ready to pounce on the hens. Then there were rats. Rats, of course, were found everywhere. Even as I wondered what right all these creatures had to be on my land, there arrived a fierce creature without paws and wings, a cobra. It stood before me, dignified, majestic, its hood spread out. It hissed as if asking me what business I had on this land. Did it know that I was the new owner? You had better leave my 2-acre land at once, I said. But then, where could it go? Hadn't the whole earth been taken over by man bit by bit? That's all this part. Now all of you take your pen and let's underline some more words in this page too. You underline the first word, thicket. Another one, shrubs. One more, pounds. Another one, fierce. Now another one, dignified, majestic, hissed. That's all the new words in this page. Now all of you should find out the meaning of all these words from the glossary at the end of this chapter, or from the dictionary if you have, or you may go search in the Google too. Okay, now here you can see what the story in this page. Now who arrived there? A new trespasser. Who is that? Yes, that is the cobra. What was the describing word? What are the describing word used here to describe the cobra? That is the one activity today's class. From this today's class, okay? Then what are the different describing words used to describe the cobra? And one more question. Which is the sound of cobra or the snake? What is the word denoted to show the sound of the snake? Okay, all of you find out all the word meaning from the glossary. That's all. Okay, did you finish your reading? Did you get the story from your reading? Who is the main character of this story? Yes, Y.K. Muhammad Bashir himself is the main character. He is telling about his own story. In that story, he told that I felt very happy. Why did he say so? Yes, I became the owner of a big plot. Which was that plot? What is there in that plot? Yes, In that plot, there are a lot of coconut trees laden with a lot of coconuts and also a small house. But he is worrying about something. What was he worrying about? Yes, there came some trespassers. What do you mean by trespasser? Yes, trespasser means someone who gets into some place without others' permission. മറ്റുള്ളവരുടെ പെർമിഷൻ ഇല്ലാതെ അവരുടെ ഭാഗത്തേക്ക് കടക്കുന്നതിനാണ് ട്രെസ്പാസേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, അതിക്രമിച്ച് കയറുന്നവർ. If anyone come to your classroom without your own permission, that means they became the trespassers. They are the trespassers, right? Now here came some trespassers. Who are the trespassers? Can you tell? Yes, a lot of creatures are the birds and different type of birds, butterflies, hawks, animals. A lot of creatures are there mentioned in that story. If you are reading once again, you will get everything. Right. Now, at last, who came? A fierce animal. Who is it? Yes, cobra. Now, that's very cruel. I think it is very cruel. Are you afraid of that cobra? I'm very afraid of cobra or all snakes. Now, the author means writer. Who was the writer? Who is the writer? Y.K. Muhammad Bashir. Now, the author described about that cobra. Some words are there in that part. Please find out each and every describing words that the author used in this part to describe cobra. കോബ്രനെ വിവരിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന വാക്കുകൾ ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? അതൊന്ന് നോക്കിയേ. Which are the describing words used in that part? A lot of describing words are there. Right? Now, a lot of trespassers, all of these other trespassers came to his own plot. Then he told that, why do you come here without my permission? No, I am the new owner of this land. Why do you come here? And why are you looking at me very sharply? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നീ എന്നെ ഇങ്ങനെ നോക്കുന്നത്? ആരോടാ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്? Yes, now he is asking about to the cobra. Now all these trespassers make some trouble to this owner. That means to the author, Y.K. Muhammad Bashir. Now this part is telling about it. Right? Now here are some photos of the scenes of some remarkable works of Y.K. Muhammad Bashir. Remarkable works means the important stories of Y.K. Muhammad Bashir. Now let's have a look at it. Here is a visualization of a small part from the story പാത്തുമ്മയുടെ ആട്. All of you watch it.
ആടോ കൂട്ടിലുണ്ട്. മഴയായിട്ട് പുറത്തിറക്കാൻ വയ്യ. ഞാൻ അതിന് തിന്നാൻ കൊടുക്കട്ടെ കേട്ടോ. പാലോ? ആ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണോ? 50 പൈസ. പഠിച്ചോനെ ഞാൻ കേക്കണേ. പഠിച്ചോനെ എന്താ ബിയെ എന്റെ ട്രൗസറിന്റെ മുന്നെന്താ കീറി എടുക്കണേ? പഠിച്ചോനെ എന്റെ ആടോ. അത് ശരി. എന്റെ ട്രൗസറിന്റെ മുന്നിൽ വെള്ളപ്പം വെച്ചുകൊടുത്താ അത് തിന്നൂല ബിയെ. ഞാൻ എനിക്ക് തുന്നി തരണ്ട് കേട്ടോ. കഴിച്ചോ. പാവ അതിന് പൈച്ചിട്ടാ. മഴയായിട്ട് പുറത്തിറക്കാൻ വയ്യ. ഭയങ്കര തീറ്റയാണല്ലോ. വരാട്ടോ. ജൈനബാച്ചിക്ക് കുറച്ച് പാലെടുത്തിട്ട് വരാട്ടോ.
Some of his stories are, or the novels are adopted as the film. Then Madilugal, the famous film Madilugal, the awarded film Madilugal Onion are the example of it. You know who took the main role in Madilugal? The famous actor Mammootty take the main role in that Madilugal. Some textual questions are there at the side of that page, each page. 5 textual questions are there. Now you should write down all these textual questions in that space given there. Okay? Okay, read this part of the story 2 or 3 times and do all the activities very well and send to me. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.